Welcome back, friends. Today, this is our lecture number 3 of environmental engineering, and let me discuss it over here. Lecture number 3 of environmental engineering. As all of you know, we have started about the sources of water, and we have started underground sources or subsurface sources. And in previous lecture, we discussed about many sources like geological formations, in which we discussed about aquifers, which are the potential source of raw water. And today in this lecture, as all of you know, we are starting infiltration galleries, and which is also a form of underground source. And about infiltration galleries, first of all, let me tell you, these are the horizontal tunnels which are constructed at some shallow depths, maybe 3 to 6 meters, and which are constructed in water-bearing strata. For example, if I give an example over here, if I have a river, and if I talk about the cross-sectional view of a river, let me show it over here. If I have a river, and rivers are naturally, they are low-lying, they are actually located at natural low-lying areas. And if this is the river, and this is the water level in the river, and I'm showing you the cross-sectional view. If I talk about the view, this is the cross-sectional view of the river. And if I talk about the helicopter view or the plan, this river, you can assume it is like this. If this is the river, if I don't show any sort of meandering over here, this is a river. Okay, let the water be flowing like this, which is not very important in what direction the water is flowing. And this river, this is the plan or the helicopter view. Okay, now what we do, we actually we construct some horizontal tunnels, okay, nearby to this river at some shallow depths. For example, if I show you a horizontal tunnel in cross-sectional view, if this is my tunnel, which I call as the infiltration gallery. Okay, infiltration galleries are they are perforated pipes or conduits, which may be open jointed as well, which will allow the water if there is any seepage occurring nearby. Okay, and this seeping water will actually enter this horizontal tunnel, and this tunnel will be having some longitudinal gradient. If, for example, if I show you the plan of this infiltration gallery, if its plan can be shown like this. Okay, okay, so it is constructed parallel to a river, or maybe any aquifer, or maybe any lake, okay, which is having some water bearing strata, okay, where seepage is occurring. Now when obviously the seepage will occur, okay, from this river, the seepage will occur. Okay, now there will be obviously reduction. Okay, there will be drawdown as you go away from this river. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, this may be the phreatic line. About the phreatic line, phreatic line is the top flow line. If these are obviously important when we talk about dams. Okay, the phreatic line, if this is the top flow line, when the seepage is occurring, there can be lots of flow lines occurring. Okay, and the top flow line is called the phreatic line, which I am showing here. This is the top flow line, and it's called the phreatic line. And the property of this phreatic line has been shown by the Cassagendry. By Cassagendry method, we actually draw the phreatic line. There are obviously two methods, graphical method and analytical method, which we will be discussing in soil mechanics. Okay. Now it is not important over here to discuss about the phreatic line, but about phreatic line, I must tell you that it is the top flow line of a saturated soil mass, below which seepage occurs. Okay, and below which hydrostatic pressure is there, but above which there is atmospheric pressure. And if there is any case of capillary rise, then there will be negative hydrostatic pressure over here. Now it is not any equipotential line, it is a flow line, as I have already said. So you should remember this, because these are being asked in many exams. So if I talk about the phreatic line of a dam, when we draw that is parabolic in nature, and it has been discussed in Cassegrain method. Now let's move. If after seepage, after there is some seepage and occurring, and the water is entering our infiltration gallery, let the height of the water over here be h naught, small h naught. Okay, and if I draw a line from the base of my infiltration gallery, okay, to show you all the things over here, let the height of this top level of water in the river be capital H. Okay, now since seepage is occurring through this capital H, and it's occurring up to this small h naught. Okay, now the important thing that here I want to discuss is the quantity of the seepage, the quantity of or the yield that we are getting in our infiltration gallery, that we are collecting in it. Okay, that will depend obviously on a lot of factors, and the important thing that will allow us to calculate that is it's Darcy's law. And you need to do a lot of integration in terms of x over here, but I will show you an easy method how you will calculate within seconds. If you don't even remember the formula, but you can obviously calculate it by using the concept of Darcy's law only. Okay, now this is the plan. Okay, now let me write over here, since we are discussing about the sources of water, and obviously we are discussing the subsurface sources, and in subsurface sources what we are discussing, and that is the infiltration gallery, which is our topic, infiltration gallery. So hope you have got an idea of infiltration gallery. Now there are some advantages of infiltration gallery. Obviously, when this water will be seeping into this infiltration gallery, there will be obviously bank filtration. Bank filtration will occur over there. The pollutants, okay, the undesirable solids will be filtered by this bank. So that's called bank filtration, and obviously it reduces the water treatment cost. If we compare it with the surface withdrawal, for example, if I am withdrawing the water directly from this river, surface withdrawal, okay, the impurities present in it obviously will come into my raw water. So, but when I am drawing the water through an infiltration gallery, there will be bank filtration. Okay, just remember this thing. Now, when I will talk about the discharge of this infiltration gallery, which we will be obtaining from it, and obviously that will be the seeping discharge that will come into it from this river or from this water bearing strata. So how much of discharge we are getting actually into this infiltration gallery, that obviously will be given by the Darcy's law, and which says that the velocity is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient, or when we use the coefficient of permeability as a constant, then V is equal to Ki. That is, the velocity through any permeable strata will be equal to the coefficient of permeability of that strata multiplied by the hydraulic gradient that is existing. Okay, so as in previous lecture, maybe I have explained the difference between the seepage, percolation and infiltration. So basically, when there is seepage, there must be some potential or head difference, and then seepage will occur inside the soil strata. Now, how much of discharge we are getting in this infiltration gallery, that will be obviously given by Darcy's law, and when we use the concept of discharge, and discharge Q is equal to area into velocity, and so we'll be getting KIA. Okay, so it is not capital I, actually it's represented like this, I. So this is the hydraulic gradient. As all of you know, this is hydraulic gradient, and it is the ratio of head loss to the length up to which the head loss is taking place. Now when I talk about the hydraulic gradient over here, it will be obviously H, that is the height of this water level from the base, which we have taken as the base of this, base of our infiltration gallery. So this will be H minus H naught, capital H minus H naught divided by R. So I here will be capital H minus H naught divided by R. Guys, we will not be doing any integration over here. I will show you the simplest way possible, and in just 10 seconds time in your exams you will be able to obtain the discharge equation of this infiltration gallery. You have to just stay with me in the video. I will show you a concept, a trick, or a shortest approach through which you can calculate the discharge equation. Now, for example, if I show you graphically over here, let me rub this because this is not important. The helicopter view is not important over here. I hope you have got the idea what actually we are doing. So if I give you a view that if I draw a line over here which represents the height of water in the river, that is capital H, okay, and I draw this the level of water inside our what is this infiltration gallery, and the height of water is H naught, small h naught, okay, and let this be the phreatic line, the topmost flow line through which flow is occurring, and obviously there can be a lot of phreatic lines, okay, and this is R, this is your R, the distance between the center of this infiltration gallery to the height of the water that is actually in the river. So now actually our infiltration gallery is it's to some length, okay, let the length be L. It can be from meters to up to kilometers as well, because infiltration galleries are long, those are long tunnels, okay, and now if I draw the 3D view, I can draw it like this, maybe like this, okay. This thing what I call as drawdown curve, or okay, so this is length L. If this is the capital H, and this will be the length L of this infiltration gallery or the river up to which the infiltration gallery is constructed. Now see guys, our discharge is equal to Q is equal to KIA. Now K will be constant. Obviously K will be constant for this soil, okay, but preferably we will design and construct our infiltration galleries in coarse grained soils, because coarse grained soils have higher permeability, so they will give you a lot of discharge, okay. Now about the hydraulic gradient, as already I have mentioned over here, it will be equal to H, that will be the height of the water, minus H naught, that will be head loss actually, divided by R, the length up to which the head loss is taking place. So it will be equal to K into I will be H minus H naught divided by R. Now this area, this is the area through which actually the flow is occurring. The area of the soil sample through which the flow is actually occurring. Now you have more area over here. As the drawdown, as you go away from this, there will be drawdown curve, okay, and it will be decreasing, okay. The phreatic line, if we talk about a phreatic line of a dam, it's parabolic in nature, so it's very difficult to analyze and go into that analysis. What for the simplification we do, we take the average area. We take the average area. If we take the average, we take the area over here, and we take the area over here. Then we average it. So what is the area over here through which the flow is actually occurring? It will be obviously H multiplied by the length of the river, or multiplied by the length of this infiltration gallery, okay. Now this will be obviously the water is seeping through like this. It is seeping. If I show it is seeping like this. It is seeping like this. Let me show it with some other color, okay. It's seeping like this, okay. It is seeping like this. So the seeping area will be H, capital H into L, the length of the infiltration gallery over here, Okay, and over here it will be the length L into h naught. Okay, and we'll divide by 2. We'll be dividing by 2, so we'll get the average area. If I talk about the average area will be equal to capital H multiplied by L, okay, plus small h naught multiplied by L divided by 2, and it will be equal to, if we take the L as common, so we'll be getting L into H plus h naught divided by 2. Okay, so this will be our area. So I'll multiply the area over here, that is L into H plus h naught divided by 2. Okay, and obviously I'll be getting K into L h square minus h naught square divided by 2. So this is our discharge. The quantity of discharge that's actually happening when we have an infiltration gallery of length L in a soil strata having coefficient of permeability K, and the height of the water level from the base of the infiltration gallery is H in the river, and H naught is the height of the water that we are getting in the infiltration gallery. So these are the parameters we can easily obtain from the site. Okay, if you know the height of water you are having, H naught in your infiltration gallery, and you know the depth at which this is constructed, and obviously you can obtain the height of the water level in the river from the base of this infiltration gallery, that is the H. Okay, and then if you calculate K, then you will be obviously getting the yield that we are getting in our infiltration gallery. So you just need to remember this thing: the height of the water H in the river and the length. So, and H naught and the length. So you'll be getting the area. K is a constant. I, you know, that will be H naught means H means H naught divided by R. Okay, so this will be obviously 2R over here. Sorry, I have just forgot. So this will be KL H square minus H naught square divided by 2R. Okay, and this will be the discharge that will be getting. Okay. So guys, this was about infiltration gallery. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Okay, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and recommend to your friends as well if you are liking the content. So in next lecture we'll be talking about wells. We'll be talking about the themes and Dupit's curve as well, about the wells, so which is a very important topic as per GATE is concerned. So thank you for watching. Hope you're fine and doing well. Thank you. Take care.